Welcome, friends, to another yoga practice with Living Peace Yoga. I'm so excited you're here. We have a very nice flow scheduled for this evening. First, I'm going to get started though. We're going to hop right into some scripture that I think is really good for all of us. It's a good reminder, especially with what's going on in the world right now and COVID and the election and all that stress that we have building. So I want to read from you this evening from Psalm 34, 4 and 5. I prayed to the Lord and he answered me. He freed me from all my fears. Those who look to him for help will be radiant with joy. No shadow of shame will darken their faces. It was a good reminder for me this morning when I did my quiet time about how gentle the Lord is. He freed me from all my fears. It doesn't say some of my fears. It doesn't say a little of my fears. It says he freed me from all of my fears. And then no shadow of shame will darken their face. No shame, friends, does he count. No shame does he keep track of. He just loves us and he frees us. So tonight, let's hop in and do some yoga. We're going to start out in child's pose. But instead of the traditional hands out child's pose, we're going to bring our bum to the heels. We're going to bring our forehead to the mat, and then we're going to drape our hands back behind, and the backs of the hands placed towards the mat. Palms up, coming to the breath. And just letting all four limbs become heavy to the earth. Settling in as you bring your thoughts back to the message. Which is that he frees us from all of our fears. And our shame is never counted. Good. We're going to bring our hands forward, back to the mat, palms down, just as if you would a regular child's pose. We're going to move our hands to the right side of the mat, tilting that left hip to the left heel, feeling that left side body stretch. Friends, I encourage you during this practice, we're going to move to the other side of the mat, that you release any shame that you have. We're going to rotate to the left side of the mat, tilting that left or right side of the bum to the right heel, feeling that right side body stretch. Good, and come back to center. We're going to come up to all fours. We're going to work our way into some cat and cow. So reminding us of the proper positioning. So wrist under elbow, elbow under shoulder. We're going to tip the hips down, tilting the head up towards the heavens, dropping the belly as we inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to press the shoulders back towards the heavens, curling under the tailbone, and then we're going to breathe and flow through that at your own breath pace. Flowing through this spinal warm-up. and thinking about what shame we can leave here on the mat. Good, curl those toes. We're gonna work our way back into our first downward facing dog. Pedal those feet if we need to warm up. Good, press those hips back towards the back of the room or the back of the mat. Good, look to the front of the mat. We're gonna walk up to the top, forward, folding it out. Good, big deep breath in, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward, fold it out. Inhale, we're gonna halfway lift, looking out in front of us. Exhale, forward, fold it out, placing those hands to the mat. Good, we're gonna kick those feet back, moving into a plank pose, and then moving down into our chaturanga push-up and up dog. Only to curl those feet and move back to a downward facing dog. Friends, I came to my yoga mat with much shame, feelings that were not great about myself. A lot of anger and bitterness, but I've been able to release a lot of it here, and I'm hoping to do the same with you throughout our practice, that you're able to leave some emotional stuff here so that you can move on from your shame, move on from your fear, and trust in the one that gives us all peace. Hence my mantra, peace on the mat. Good, walk our feet up to the top, forward, fold it out. Good, big deep breath in, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward, fold it out. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward, fold it out. We're gonna kick our feet back into that plank pose. Good, coming down into that chaturanga push-up and an up dog. And then curl those feet back to downward facing dog. Good, we're gonna kick that right leg back into a three-legged dog. We're gonna bring it on through, lowering that left knee. Good. We're gonna bring those hands up to the heavens. If you can, we're gonna reach back just a little bit for a nice little back bend. Reaching that left hip forward, really feeling that stretch of the left hip flexor. This is where the heart of yoga becomes hard, because we're working all of these muscles, creating heat. Good, bring those hands down towards the mat. Place that left hand inside the right foot, and we're gonna bring our right hand up to the heavens. Being careful of that right knee, not letting it fall open. Wanna keep it up straight, not letting it go forward of the right ankle. Again, stretching that left hip, opening it up. Good, bring that right hand down. Uncurl that left toe. Bring that left leg up off the mat. We're gonna come out the same way we came in. So bring that right foot out to a downward facing dog. Press those hips back. We're gonna do the same flow on the other side. Extend that right leg or left leg back. We're gonna bring it on through. Placing that right knee now down to the mat, uncurling the toes. Oh, and when you lose your balance, you just come right back at it. Bringing those hands up to the heavens. And then a slight back bend. Getting in a nice spinal stretch, as well as that right hip flexor as well. Good. Feeling our bodies move in a way that feels good, in a way that's worshipful. Good. We're gonna place both hands to the mat. We're gonna place that right hand inside the left foot. We're gonna take that left hand now up to the heavens. Nice spinal twist here. Our gaze can be towards the heavens as well. You're doing so great. Good. Place that left hand back to the mat. We're gonna uncurl the right toes, bring that right leg up off the mat. We're gonna come out the same way we came in. So pressing that left foot back to meet the right in a downward facing dog. Good. Good. We're gonna move forward into a plank pose. We're gonna bring that right knee in. We're just gonna let it hover to the mat. And then extend it back. Good. We're gonna bring that left leg in. Nice 90-degree angle. Bending, but just hovering it there over the mat. Working some abs here. Good. Back down. One more time. Bring that right knee in. Hovering to the mat. This is when it's getting hard. And press that right knee back. Bring that left knee forward. Letting that left leg hover over the mat. Good. Take the leg back to a plank. And we're gonna place those knees down, take them wide. Bum to the heels for a well-deserved child's pose. And you might have lost your breath there for a moment. We really worked up some heat. So feel free to take a few breaths here and catch it. Slowing it down, coming back to that breath. We'll come back into all fours. We're gonna curl those toes. We're gonna come back into a downward facing dog. Really working some heat tonight. Should be getting warm by now. Go ahead and place that right leg back into a three-legged dog. We're gonna bring that leg through. We're gonna place the shin behind the hands, laying the right knee down to the mat. Laying that left knee down and extending that left leg back. And then pigeon can really be what you make of it. Tonight, I'm gonna place fist over fist and place my forehead on that. But you're more than welcome to slide yourself all the way out. Having forearm over forearm, you can even engage a block if you need to place your forehead on, whatever feels comfortable for you this evening. And pigeon does not have to be a stationary pose, so feel free to rock those hips from side to side. It gives you a little more space in that right hip to be able to move deeper into the stretch. I'm sure, which is just what you want to hear. But moving deeper advances our practice. It allows us to reduce our shame It allows us to reduce our fears, and it allows us to pick up that peace on the mat that we're striving for. A little kitty yoga tonight. This is Nala. So I hope you like kitties. Good. We'll come up onto those forearms. We're gonna place those right toes on the mat. We're gonna inchworm that the left foot. That left foot forward. We're gonna bring that right leg up and out the same way we came in, bringing it up into a three-legged dog. Rotating that right foot open to the left side of the mat, really opening up that hip, counteracting that big deep stretch we just gave it. Good. Place that right foot back to meet the left on the mat. We're going to extend that left leg up into a three-legged dog, bringing that left leg on through, placing the shin behind the hands, extending back that right leg to where it feels comfortable, and then coming down into your expression of pigeon. Tonight I chose fist over fist. You can choose absolutely what you like or what feels good. You might even do something different on this side, and that's okay. I am not as flexible on my left side as I am my right. So I tend to do more hip rocking on this side to help open up the spaces, to try to find equanimity to my right side, which means equal on both sides. Typically we are not. You'll find you're tighter on one side over the other. It's just how we hold our stress, where we hold our stress, and where it settles. Good. Come on back up. Curl those right toes. Bring that right leg forward just a bit. We're going to extend back into a three-legged dog with that left leg up in the air. Tilting that left foot open to the right side of the mat. Opening up that left hip. Counteracting that stretch. Good. Bring that left foot back to meet the right. One more time, pressing ourselves into a downward facing dog. Good. Look to the front of the mat. We're going to come up onto our tippy toes, and we're going to tippy toe our way just to the center of the mat. We're going to stay up on those tippy toes. You can keep those hands to the mat for a little bit of balance. Or you can gently pull those hands off the mat, working that balance. Good. Then bend those knees and bring that bottom down. Bringing those hands to prayer hands while still up on those tippy toes. Good. A little bit of balance. If you fall, that's okay. Just come right back at it. Nobody's judging, especially since my heel just hit the mat. Good. Okay, place both of those heels to the mat. Forward, fold it out. And we're going to very slowly come rising ourselves up to a standing position. Hands open for mountain pose in the middle of the mat. It's so great to see all of you. Take a couple of deep breaths here. One more balancing pose here for this evening. We're going to work towards Warrior 3. So we're going to bend at just the hips. We're going to place our right leg back to start. So bending at the hips, we're going to place that right leg back, leaving this left leg nice and straight, rooting into all four corners of that left foot. And then just tilting to where it feels comfortable. My hands tend to want to do airplane arms tonight, so my hands are kind of back, but you can do hands at heart center. Have your gaze out a couple of feet in front of you and just kind of stare at one spot on the floor in front of you. Try to raise that right leg a little higher, really engaging through the core here, pulling that belly button towards the back. Good. And then we're going to swing that leg down. Big deep breath in, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold it out. Inhale, halfway lift. Flat back, straightening that spine. Really elongating through the skull. And then exhale, forward fold it out. Good. Again, one vertebrae at a time. We're going to work our way up to a standing mountain pose. Again, 2 breath paces here. One more breath. Good. Now we're going to move into Warrior 3 on the left side. So we're going to, again, bending at the hips, only the hips. We're going to leave that right leg nice and straight, kicking that left leg back through the heel. You can have your hands wherever they feel comfortable, dropping those shoulders down, rooting through all 4 corners of that right foot for that stability. Engaging that core, bringing it to the center of the body. Good. And then kick that left leg back up to meet the right. Big deep breath in, arms up overhead. We're gonna exhale, forward fold it out. Good. Inhale, halfway lift, really elongating that spine. Exhale, forward fold it out. We're gonna extend both feet back into that chaturanga, but we're not gonna move through a chaturanga. We're actually gonna place the knees to the mat. We are going to uncurl the toes into an upward dog or a high cobra, whichever you would prefer. I'm gonna do high cobra. Rotating those elbows in, dropping those shoulders. Good. And then we're gonna move our bellies down to our bellies, placing our forearms flat to the mat. You know that one hair that drives you crazy? That's where I'm at, friends. Okay, placing those hands on the mat. We are gonna pull those elbows towards our abdomen and pulling the abdomen towards our elbows for Sphinx pose. So dropping those shoulders down, really feeling this stretch in the low back. This is nice to do throughout the day when you're feeling tension or stress. This is a great way to release some of that, especially for those who have low back pain. Maybe you have a physical job, and so this is very helpful for that. So again, just pulling those elbows towards the abdomen towards the elbows. Good. All right. And we're gonna come down to a baby cobra, lifting up just a little bit. Just lifting that chin off the mat. Good. And then we're gonna push all the way up and back to a child's pose. Good. And then back to center. We're gonna bring the knees up. We're gonna place our bum on the mat. Let both legs extended out, feet pointed up towards the heavens. We're gonna take a nice deep breath in here. Arms up overhead. As you exhale, forward fold over both of those legs. Really releasing and counter stretching that deep stretch we just did in the low back and hips. So you should feel that release. And when you feel that release, I like to think that sometimes our intention for the evening goes too. So getting rid of fear and shame should flee as well. Good. Awesome. And we are going to come back up to center. We're going to scooch our bum towards the mat, or towards our feet rather. And we're going to roll onto our backs. We're going to bring the knees into the chest. We're going to rock the back from side to side. Good. We're going to extend the arms out. We're back for a little cat yoga. Nala, she likes to get on the yoga mat. I'm sure you'll get to know her more as we continue to practice together. We're gonna bend our legs at a 90-degree angle. We're gonna tuck those shoulders down and under towards the spine. Arms out at looking like a T or a cross. We're gonna take both knees and we're gonna let them fall to the right side of the mat, but we're gonna leave our left shoulder on the mat if we can. So go ahead and drop both of those knees towards the floor. We're gonna hover just above the floor. So this is a little bit of ab work as well. Yoga is a whole body workout, as you have experienced. Might even feel some popping in the spine. That's okay. That's just a lot of that tension releasing. Good. And then bring those knees back up to center. Again, 90-degree angle. Arms extended out to the sides. And now we're going to let those knees fall to the left side of the mat. Just the knees. We're going to leave that right shoulder on the mat if we can. And then just hover those knees over the mat. Good. And then bring those knees back up to center. One more time. Bring those knees into the chest and rocking the low spine from side to side. Good. And then place those feet to the mat. We're going to extend the legs out long, letting those feet fall in a neutral position, tucking those shoulders down and under towards the spine. If it feels comfortable to open the hands with the palms facing the heavens, then just do what feels good tonight. Do what your body is calling to do. And then begin to soften the muscles of the face. Softening the shoulders. Letting all 4 limbs fall heavy to the earth. And then coming back to the breath. We're just going to take a couple of minutes of Shavasana here. And just listen. Listen to what God has to say to you on your mat this evening. Bend your left leg and place your left foot on the mat. Scoot your bum towards the left side of the mat. We're going to roll onto our right side. Head on your right bicep, bringing the knees up. Coming back to awareness. Coming back to stillness, coming back to the breath. As you stay on your right side, I have a small devotional to read to you that I wrote in my devotion this morning. I titled it, "I'm Not Afraid of Monsters." I sought the Lord and He answered me. He delivered me from all of my fears. Those who look to Him are radiant, and their faces shall never be ashamed. Again, that was Psalm 34, 4 through 5, if you'd like to reference that later. You think of just fearing monsters as a childhood issue, but we really fear monsters as adults as well. They take form as an irate boss, a difficult relationship, an unfavorable medical diagnosis, a credit card bill, a divorce, a loss of a child. Fear grips us, friends, in real and powerful ways, immobilizing us sometimes. And what fear can do is destroy our peace of mind. I know it did mine for a long time, until I found peace on the mat. I still struggle, but I'm much better. As a child of God, you can cry out to Him, confident that He will help. You can shake fear and know that whatever monster you face, you don't face it alone, friend. Friends, I ask you for peace today. And the radiance of a face that seeks Him instead of shame that looks to the world. When you're ready, very slowly come back to a seated position. Hands at heart center, eyes closed, shoulders down and back. Nice, easy breathing. Friends, it was such a joy to practice with you tonight. It was more of a blessing than you will ever know. I pray that you continue with peace off your mat as you have found on the mat. I can't wait to see you next time. Thanks. If you enjoyed tonight's video, please hit the thumbs up. You can also subscribe to the channel if you would like. Thanks and have a great night.